something we hadn't seen before.
I kept those cards close to my chest.
The humour kind of came from this truth.
So when she asked us to fight naked on day one,
She looks down her nose at money. She gets it on like the Easter bunny. She's my baby, I'm her honey. I'm never gonna let her go.
Lynn was honestly the only person for this. When I read the book, it was recommended by Martin Scorsese, so obviously I took it very seriously, but I saw immediately how hard it would be to make it into a movie because it's the character's inner world and her inner dialogue, and so to bring that outward, I saw immediately how challenging it would be. So I knew if anybody was going to be able to make this, it would have to be subversive, it would have to be a poet, and the only poet that I know as a director is Lynne Ramsey. She is the only one. So we took a chance and we asked her, and I'm still pinching myself.
Cheryl mentioned that you're a writer.
I don't do that anymore.
Stuck for inspiration?
I'm stuck between wanting to do something and not wanting to do anything at all.
Well, I felt the same about Jennifer. She's an amazing actress.
She saw how desperate I was.
No, not at all. It was that it was a very challenging part to play, you know, and it was a book of many layers. Quite a tough adaptation, really, you know, but it felt really something modern and unapologetic, and I felt her character, you know, is something that I really wanted to explore as a filmmaker, and it was something that I felt that would be something we hadn't seen before.
Where are you now?
Is everything all right?
For me, I definitely wanted humour, and I think Jennifer, you know, is natural. She brought her humour to it. I think otherwise it would have felt really sort of, you know, it was too one-dimensional to me, because I think something within her, this character Grace is, you know, she's lonely and she's searching, and she, you know, her marriage is starting to disintegrate in some way as well, you know. So obviously I was looking for lots of different textures and tones, and I think I needed that to be like three-dimensional, and to be three-dimensional in that way, you know, because otherwise it would have felt just too much like, I don't know, like this heavy thing, and it's not, I don't think. I think the film's funny.
And how much of that humour was written into it?
I don't think any of it was written in. It didn't, because really you just kind of pushing the truth, and she doesn't care about tone, or she's so earnest. She wants the truth. I mean, you can see when I first discovered her, I watched her entire filmography, and I've never seen a filmmaker that's more earnest, that it's almost like she's not thinking about the audience. She's just thinking about the truth of what she's making and these characters, and then everything kind of falls in line from there. So it didn't even, I don't think if you read it, I don't think we would have known that stuff was funny. It was just you digging and chasing for the truth. Well, I think, you know, within my kind of way of looking at it, I saw a love story too, you know, like, you know, that these people loved each other, you know, very much, but Jackson just doesn't know how to handle Grace. But the humour kind of came from this truth, you know, that you know, that she just says things like they are, you know, and I think, you know, in a very inappropriate way sometimes. Like, to me, that had this kind of absurdist black humour that I felt like, you know, really added, you know, another dimension to the characters, you know, and also to the piece.
The main character is about to batter her husband to death with a hammer.
Shut up!
Yeah, I mean, if Martin Scorsese hands you a book and says, I really think you should star in this, I'm not like, who else should I give this to? I kept those cards close to my chest. Definitely only wanted to act in it. And I keep saying it, but it just is true. There was one director for this. You know, a lot of movies, they start in development and they don't happen, and they don't, this would have just, I think it just would have been, it just wouldn't have been made. It wouldn't have had, I mean, the draft that, you know, when she read the book and she cracked it, and the draft that we got, the work that we thought and how it leapt off the page when she was there. It would be a completely different movie.
Grace, if you're having a hard time,
I feel fine.
Well, it occurred to me, you know, like that well, could be something really interesting for this. I mean, it's quite a thankless part in some ways because, like, he brings his doll home. And he doesn't. I don't think he's empathetic sometimes in a way that to what's really going on. But he does love her. You know, he was able to bring this, like a kind of subtlety to it that I felt was really interesting. That way, he's a bit hapless sometimes, but at the same time, he doesn't really know what to do with this force of nature.
Grace, stop it.
I suppose one big influence was A Woman Under the Influence, by John Cassavetes, which is such a beautiful film. Because when the Pierre Falk character tries to change Gina Rhodes' character mind her, something's lost, of her, her beauty and her funny and humour, So that was interesting to me, to do a modern version of that and push it even further, with this character.
A woman. I mean, I think A Woman Under the Influence was one of the most inspirational films to me, and I think any actress in the world, that's just a part that you dream of getting Gina Rowland's role in A Woman Under the Influence. So this was definitely one of those opportunities, if it was made by the right person. Sorry, I keep going back to that, but I just can't read the book so you can understand how hard it would be to make it into a movie and picture it if it wasn't lit. Sorry, my AD, I'm very proud of it.
It's also the Dace's character is so fierce and like feral and animalistic and and on her own journey, he has to sort of let her go in some way,
What was the first thing that you shot? What was the first thing was that?
But it was some of the intimate scenes, like the love scenes, the very open in the film, actually.
Well, Lynn had, in retrospect, a very good idea to build me and Robert's kind of chemistry and our comfort with each other. Rob and I have never really, we had met a couple times, but we didn't really know each other. And we're both very kind of quick to embarrass. And so we came out a few weeks before the shoot, and Lynn was like, I want you guys to do interpretive dancing. And we were like, what? And you can't imagine something more embarrassing than doing that with somebody that you don't really know. And it was so embarrassing that I feel like by the time we got to set, we had already done it. There was nothing more embarrassing that you could ask us to do. So when she asked us to fight naked on day one, we were just kind of okay, that was easier in some senses than standing in front of somebody and being like, this is how I feel like a tree moves.
It was a risk to do something that you like that you first day, but I felt like all the ice was broken, and it felt like a real couple, right away, and so I just saw them as Jackson and Griggs.